What's up, y'all? It's Nkeshku. Y'all listen to Kinda No Ball podcast. And you know what? Thank y'all for clicking on this video. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. All right, we have a lot to talk about. All-Star Weekend. Woo! There was a lot going on, and honestly, it feels so dastardly that it took all this for folks to truly care about the game that we all love. This is a vacation to some folks. And there was real hoops. And I will say this, it feels like the All-Star game was saved. There was great hoops. People were playing defense. The three-point contest was fun. The dunk contest. But the All-Star game, there's a lot of hooping and there's a lot of drama. So, hey, let's get into it. All right, All-Star Weekend as a whole, it felt like everything was so early. And then I realized that the Olympics was still going on as well. So that's why they had to move things around, because they didn't want to eat into the prime Olympics time. And in my opinion, play the hoops. What are we doing? Can we lock in? And I was thinking to myself, because I was like, well, every game seems like it's running away from us. It's the three-point contest only having 2 rounds. The dunk contest only having 2 rounds. It was ridiculous. Only 4 people showed up to the dunk contest. Bunch of randos. I was starting to get livid. I even missed half of the celebrity game, and I didn't even see the Rising Stars game. I had to catch it on the replay to actually see some of the hoops. It was fun. BJ X home. You be hooping. I like seeing it. But overall, it was a great weekend. I don't know what was inside the water. I don't know if it was the fact that there were so many youngins inside this All-Star game that really got it pushing. I don't know if people were trying to fight for their nation's pride. But there was definitely something different that was going on. And I will say about that game, it's been so long since I've seen people actually care to play defense and sprint to the corner, because of all All-Star Weekend is, all the All-Star game should be, is me looking out on that court and being like, wow, they are doing things that I cannot do. They are actually hitting crazy shots. They are actually half sprinting to put their hand up to play some defense. I'm seeing people pump fake, and then fade away and hit some shots. This is the hoops that I want to come get money for. I want to be paying money to see a real operation of hoops, because that's what all this is for. Seeing the greatest of the greats come together and hoop. And one of the things that I've been thinking about recently, especially in the context of the NBA, there needs to be more of an emphasis towards the players that are not quite all-stars, but they do all the little things that build up a team to be actually a championship contending roster. I've heard some folks call them the sub all-stars. I've heard some people call them the glue and the grit. Every team needs to be actually able to go the distance. But this year, we need to have more of an emphasis on players I'm very surprised that Derek White did not make an all-star team this year, because if we were to actually watch the Celtics games, I know Jaylen Brown has been cooking in a way that he's been hooping like he has been excited that he finally got the chance to take some bad shots on this team. He's been hooping as if he has been waiting his whole career to finally get the opportunity to take not just bad shots, but know that he gets 25 shots per game if he wants it. It's been beautiful. Real quick, I'm gonna hit on Jaylen Brown because he's slowly becoming my favorite NBA player, because I was not a fan of all the streaming, all the other content creating, the fact that he's on everybody's show, hanging out with everybody, flying around the world, always on cam, dropping 50 points, and then going on stream to talk about the fact that he just dropped 50 points on your favorite player. But he's been able to keep it up. This boy has been hoping. He has been putting people in the blender in a way. Teams are trying to double and put a slide guy in the middle. And he's still dropping 27 points a game. That man is hooping. And he's still playing defense on a level that he's playing defense on the level of a Klay Thompson prime, of a Kawhi Leonard. He's moving in a way that's hey, I want the best offensive player. And guess what? I'm going to put 30 on the best offensive player, and there's nothing you could do to stop me. And I will say, shouts out Derek White, because he definitely cleans up a lot of mistakes on the Celtics roster. Like, how would you think if I was to sit back and tell you that the Boston Celtics are going to be the 2 seed out east with no Jason Tatum, trading away Drew Holiday, gutting some of your roster, gutting key pieces from your roster, and then, you know what, just like Jaylen Brown is going to be like your main offensive guy, and they are the 2 seed. And it looks like, I'm only going to say this once, this might be as a hot take, it looks as if they're gearing their way into be able to get a crazy push this playoff season. But let's talk about, I want to stick on the All-Star event real quick. Y'all know how Jaylen Brown has been able to just elevate in a way that did not seem possible just last year. I love when you get the subplot on an NBA team when the main guy like tears something or hurts himself, or you know what, let's just keep it simple, takes 12, 8, 15 games off, and their number 2 has to be, they got to step into that role. And that's why Jamal Murray, I'm so glad that you did, because of, you know what, I will say I was one of the main Murray haters. I always felt like he was one of those players that was just like feasting off of being next to an all-time great, even going beyond the fact that he's like the perfect teammates to that guy. His ability to be able to be like not just a spark plug, but consistently being a top 3 shooter in the league, and being able to, the way that he cooks my Lakers, it makes me really love the game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. He cooks. He's one of those players that just goes nuclear on the Lakers in a way that's so talented, and then he just never gets any All-Star recommendation. He never gets any All-NBA. He never gets like the, let me put it like this. If I was to tell you who's the best shooting guards, right? You'd probably go Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown. You might throw in a Jalen Brunson. Actually, I'll put it like this. Out of all the guards, it will take you a while to get to Let me put it like this. If you were to ask who are the best guards in the league, or the best scoring guards in the league, let's just put scoring guards, right? It will take you a while before you get to Jamal Murray, which is so crazy to me if you actually watch his game. And he's been able to not just put the team on his back and just go, but it seems as if he has been waiting for that moment to put the team on his back and just go. And it's one of those things where like the NBA is so talented that a lot of these number 2s are really 30-point per game scorers that are just playing their role as best that they can to be able to set up the number 1 guy to finally be able to get to that promised land and put that ring on their finger. And this year has been a great year for a bunch of these new talented keys that's coming out there, being showing off the fact that's like, hey, there's a new NBA. There was a lot of first-time All-Stars this year that I'm like, y'all were cooking. I'm gonna hit on Jalen Johnson real quick. Jalen Johnson, even though that you snatched Trey's chain, and let's go on Jalen Johnson. Jalen, even though you pulled up and made the organization be like, yeah, let's get rid of Trae Young, a 30-10 guy, because of the belief in you, that has to be said. It has to be put up as a conversation point, because of there's not too many guys that you're going to be willing to be like, you know what, let me just throw Trae away and get CJ McCollum, I think. Chris Pertz? Random players, just random players, literally salary dumping moves to be able to move on from him, to be like, yeah, this is my guy. Jalen Johnson, honestly, I've watched a few of his games. I'm not going to say that I've watched every dribble that he's had, but he's one of those archetypes that I could really value, because he's like about 6'8", lengthy, not really hyper athletic, but he is definitely athletic enough to be like, you know what, I'm just going to dunk everything. Defensively, I don't be everywhere, Offensively, I'm gonna dunk everything. You're gonna put me in pick and rolls, and it won't work. I'm gonna put you in pick and rolls, and it's gonna work. I'm gonna be like, and it's not even the fact that he's like a knockdown shooter. He's one of those players that's like, hey, I would rather just get a running head start, get as close to the rim as I can, and then I'm gonna move from there. And that is something that you could really value trying to build your team around, because they're like, hey, we're just gonna get as many wings as possible and tell them, hey, lock up everybody. Ain't nobody moving. Ant, you're not going down there. Hey, please stop it. Stop that. And his archetype is really fun because not only is he like really switchable, but it seems like he loves playing defense. And not only, when you watch a player just like randomly mid-season just start to heat up, you try and figure out, okay, number one, is it that this team has a deficit that you are actively filling? Are you actively just getting better? Who is it that's lighting this fire under you? Is there like do you just break your limiters in your mind and you just recognize that you are just like more athletic than the guys that are around you? Because that's one of those things where basketball is more of a mental sport, right? Because it's like, if you believe that you can bust this person, by God, you gonna bust their ass. You gonna whoop on them. And it's one of those things where it's like, when you walk in the court and you look around and like, hey, I could score 20 on you. I could score 30 on you. I could score 40 on you. There's nothing that you can do with me. And that's your center. I would love to poster you. And then it gets to the point where you're so confident in your game that you're just, I'm cooking all y'all. Send all 5 of them to me. And guess what? I could pass too. I could do everything. You know what? I don't even need to pass, because I'm going to score on all 3 of y'all if y'all try and triple me. Let's just be real. Chet is a first-time All-Star. Minnesota stand up. We hooping. Let's just watch as he's representing the greatness of Minnesota. Chet making an All-Star team. Minnesota, everybody stand up. We're cooking. Honestly, I'm so surprised that Chet's having this offensive jump. I'm so surprised that Chet is having this offensive jump because of, actually, I take that back. His first year, his rookie season, his real rookie season, I was surprised that he was willing to take as many shots as he was. And then it got to the finals. And then I was even more surprised that he was consistently trying to get shots every single round, where he was shooting a lot of threes. He was confidently shooting them, and he's just breaking, missing, all of that, right? And I'm glad that the ball is finally going into that hoop, because he got like top 5, top 6 when it comes to defensive players in the league, behind like Wemby's, the Wemby's, the Bams, Rudy. Duren maybe. No, I think he's a better defender than Duren. But yeah, no, the growth offensively, especially when players are like actualizing their potential, because of one of his main things, the reason why he went so high is the fact that he was huge guy, 7'2", 7'3", great defense, rim protecting, can be coordinated when they move. They don't look like a straight back. Like every time they move, they're not just like stuck. And being able to control your body movements and get low and be a movement shooter. They were obsessed with his potential as a moving shooter and taking pressure off of the main guy, because you have to worry about some 7'2" bug right there, ready to shoot every single play. And I thought it would get annoying being able to like watch and be like, you know what? You're always at 3-point line. Why are you going to be a threat enough to be needing to be on the 3-point line? And the fact that he's been able to actualize it has been so fun to watch. Great pick. Great work. They might try to do a finals run again. Hey, it's gonna go through here. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're gonna have to beat us again. Jalen Duren. I'm not going to say he's turned into one of my favorite players, but I will say I love his archetype. He's one of those NBA players, one of those centers that are real centers that don't think that just because this is this new age, I'm gonna need to learn how to shoot threes and dribble and be able to take the shimmy shimmy fade to the corner, learn how to pass and facilitate, learn how to, play perimeter defense and do this and da 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 da. And then they just end up being average at all of them. And then they end up not doing what a center needs to do, like set pick and rolls, be able to clean the rim, and be able to dunk the ball. But Jalen Duren's one of them old guys that say, hey, I'm the strongest mugs in this court. Can we be serious? Throw it right here. And you know what? I'm not going to do a move. Just throw it here and let me just dunk it. That's all I'm going to do. I just want to dunk it. And he's willing to play defense and anchor that side of the ball that is like, you know what? Hoop it. I like it. Norman Powell is an all-star. And you know what? Man, that's my uncle right there. Brother, when they kicked him off the Clippers, I was like, you will regret this. That Jamaican brother, the way that he's been able to not just stay into the league, but he's been thriving recently, and that's just rights in my soul, and I love that. That's been sitting in my soul. And Norman Powell, he's one of those like few real ethical hoopers that are still left in the game. He don't even be foul baiting, and he's a scoring guard. How don't you foul bait as a scoring guard? That's what I love to see, baby. You hooping, baby. So yeah, Denny Avdia, he's also an all-star. And now let's actually get to the events. Let's start with a three-point shooting contest. This was fun. I enjoyed watching this for a couple of reasons. Number one, they chose the perfect squad. You chose a rookie that's hooping. You chose a OG three-point shooter. You chose an all-star, and you chose like two all-stars came to play, and then who's the last guy? And you chose a big three-point shooter. You gotta add 1 7-footer. That's perfect. I feel like this is a format that they should take on as the years go by. Keep it to these type of greatness, because I feel like that's one of the main problems of the dunk contest, because they don't choose the right guys. Oh, and while I was watching Dame, it kind of I think Donovan Mitchell also shot. No, this was a great contest. I enjoyed the 3-point contest. Every year they be cooking. Let's talk about the dunk contest. The dunk contest used to be a time. It used to be where the greatest of greats pulled out all they stopped to go and give us a show. When the superstars of the superstars would jump out on that crowd, and they will give us everybody, hey, I'm going to throw it between my legs, do a turnaround and dunk it. Or I'm going to bring a car out, I'm going to jump over and I'm going to do a windmill and I'm going to dunk it. Or I'm going to throw it off this backboard, catch it on another backboard, put it on my legs, do a turnaround and dunk it. And you see great after great after great coming out to hoop. But over the past few years, actually, And over the past few years, there hasn't been as much aura. There hasn't been that much emphasis. It hasn't been seen as a wanting to come out and show out for the NBA. It doesn't scratch the itch. Folks aren't itching and clamoring to come be great on the live stage. And I feel like not only has there been this lackluster efforts coming from all the way from 2016, I feel like people are not recognizing what truly made the dunk contest great. Yes, we had star power, but I feel like in retrospect, we had dunk power, because I was looking at some of the past legends when they pulled up to pull up to show out, right? And I feel as if we are looking through rose-colored 2020 glasses and forgetting the process of the way that these players actually showed out on their early years in the league. They pulled out and pulled up with a show. I was thinking about this with Kobe Bryant, because he was one of my favorites. One of my favorite dunk contests was Kobe's rookie year, right? Kobe as a rookie pulls up to hoop. It's not like we're having old heads like a Clyde Drexler in his, 14th season coming out and be like, yeah, let me show y'all how it is. It's not MJ in the latter half of his career coming out to show you how to dunk the ball. It's the young cats that still have fresh legs. And that's why I really enjoyed parts of this 2026 dunk contest, because of Carter Bryant. He was dunking. One of my favorite things when it comes to dunking, it's not all the tricks and the facade and they flying and all this extra stuff. No. Jump in the air and throw that mug down. Rip the rim off. Grab it and break it. That's what I want. I need to see that power. I want you to throw the ball so hard through that hoop that it bounce on the ground and fly all the way up and put it right back in the rim. I need that. That would be a fire dunk. But the amount of youth is something that I really enjoyed. Everyone was from the age of like 20 till I think Jackson Hayes is like 25. I'm pretty sure he's like 25-ish. And that is fire. Jackson Hayes, you should be ashamed of yourself. Can you please lock in? Can you please do something? I don't know if they was just giving you a fantastic check and that's why you wanted to pull up. But it's like, brother, you went... Watching his first dunk, bro runs up and just like regular dunks it. I'm watching with some of my homies. I'm like, bitch, I can do that. And I feel like the best way to really rejuvenate the dunk contest is to change the type of people that are in the contest to begin with. In the past 5 years, one of the main guys that has changed the amount of efforts and the amount of allure of the dunk contest. The dunk contest in and of itself seems to be saved by one man, Mac McClung. He's been pulling out and showing out ever since that he was allowed to be in the dunk contest. And every year, 3 years straight, he was dunking on folks. And guess what? He don't even be playing in the NBA like that. I think today he has 9 NBA games under his belt. And guess what? He was dunking like he was hungry. He was coming up with ideas. He was putting the ball in that rim in ways that we ain't never seen in a while. And guess what? There seems to be a demographic that is just not being hit on when it comes to the dunk contest that would send it through the roof. We need to add pro dunkers into the dunk contest. We need to watch the people that spend their full years practicing, honing, and lifting weights specifically to be able to dunk. That's not what these NBA players are doing. They are practicing hooping. Dunking is such a small part of their... You know what? I don't even think folks really train to know how to dunk for real. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, why would I learn to put a trick on when I dunk when it'll be the same 2 points? And you know what? It might turn the crowd up more if I just try to rip the rim off the basket. That's more enjoyable to me. And guess what? I'm not going to waste my time and injure my dumb ass trying to learn how to do a backflip and dunk the ball. But guess what? There are people that are spending their life trying to figure out the extent of what a dunk can really be. And it's one of those things where when I was watching hoops in around the 2010s, I stumbled upon those dunkers. Jordan Killigan's in the 2010s, I stumbled onto some of the greatest dunkers. You ever look on YouTube, right? And you just put it in some dunks, and it'll be folks that are literally 5'4" doing windmills. You see a random white guy that jumps over another guy, swings his arms, and then dunking the ball behind him, and he be wearing jeans. You watch as some of the most craziest dunks that you've ever seen, ever. Till this day, I don't know how they're physically capable to do the type of dunks that they be dunking. And yet they're not in the dunk contest. They need to be put on the NBA stage. And guess what? They will actually, it would feel nice to get $200,000 for somebody that's not in the league. And not even to mention, there would be this sense of urgency. Not just sense of urgency. There would be this sense of pride defeating NBA players that I feel like it would come from these pro dunkers. So I recommend we have to keep the dunk contest, number one, young. Number two, we got to bring someone from the G League to participate. At least to bring the G League into the spotlight of the world to be able to see the type of hoops that they doing. And number three, we got to bring in at least one pro dunker to represent what the rest of the world is actually seeing. And I was watching some like past dunk contests, right? And it started to dawn on me that it feels like we're doing the same dunks consistently, and we haven't. It feels as if we have seen the physical peak of a lot of these dunks, at least on the NBA side. And then you can go on YouTube and just watch 1,000 different dunks that man has never seen. So we need to be able to bring that to the forefront to really bring some more jazz into it. But I feel like we should also please keep picking these youngins and pick them correctly. The way that Con Knipple was a perfect three-point shooting pickup. Where is Cooper Flag? I should see that white boy yesterday. But I will say, the event that we really need to bring to the forefront, I need to see them 1v1 hoops. We need 1v1s not only for the pride, but for the ethical hoopers, so we could actually see who is cooking who. And I feel like one of the reasons why we've lost so many recipes, and then we started this whole discord of, European players are just like better on average. They're just taught the game in a better way. That's why all the NBAs are European. And overseas players this, the world that. Guess who won last night? That's a whole nother conversation. But we need to see the type of entertainment that really brings us to the front stage, like a 1v1 hoop fest. And guess what? I feel like we need to not only, we can ask the top guys, the Jalen Brunsons of the world, the Luka Doncic's, the SGAs, the Kevin Durant's. You're a funny guy. But going the tier below to get some real hoopers is where we need to be. Because a Jaden McDaniels 1v1, I'm not gonna lie, I want to see it. A Cam Thomas 1v1 fest, I need that. Who's the Keyshawn, who's the guy from the Utah Jazz? A Keyshawn George. We need to see those type of hoops. I need that. And that brings me to the unrivaled 1v1s. Bro. I was watching that stuff in awe because it's one of those things where it kind of reminded me of like the Ball is Life 1v1s, where the game just turns into like really physical, real hard-nosed defense, real like shimmies, real shoulder checks, all that. And I feel like that might be the only problem to a 1v1. But then again, that's what I want to see, bro. I want to see someone say, nah, you're not better than me. Do you know why? Because I can just back you down like you my little bro all the way to the basket. And I'm a shimmy right over the right. Shimmy right over the left. And there's nothing you could do about it because you are physically, objectively too small. Chelsea Gray. You was hooping. You was hooping in a real funny way because of when I first watched the first match she was going through, right? You ever seen someone's eyes light up when they defender just cannot guard them? Shorty put, I think it was 11-0 against Paige Beggars. And it kind of hurt watching it as a Minnesotan, but then it really clicked in my eye. In a game of 1v1, I legitimately can just end the game. I can just not miss. And you can just eat that. That's you just have to deal with that. You have to force them to miss. And if you don't got that defensive chops, suffer. I know Paige was sick when she was missing some of those easy threes, because it's like, I just need to see one drop. Give me one and I'm cooking you. I'm frying you. And then to get to the final round of the All-Star games, honestly, I was a fan of the format this year. And it feels as if they be throwing whatever at the wall and hoping that it sticks. But this World versus USA, at first I was like, why would you split up the USA team to have like the older guys on one end and the young guys on the other side? Why not just the best players, period, and we just move on? And then it hit me. Number one, play styles are everything. Number two, the amount of injuries that the world team had on their side, I totally understand why they're like, nah, we're not going to let you get jumped. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And the world team still ended up losing, but I will say, Victor Wembanyama, you're going to be one of them greats. Especially after this weekend, all my goats is just misbehaving. Victor Wembanyama, the way that he was so upset, angry, furious that his teammates were not trying to hoop. Bro was mad about losing an All-Star game. Yes. Hustling in the All-Star game. Yes. Throwing folks stuff off the backboard. Yes. Shooting threes. Bro. And the thing is, I feel like if Wemby was not there, they would have not taken it as seriously as they did, because of when it starts off, Wemby goes, he gets the easy dunk. He goes, gets a tween, shoots a three, hits that, and then answers like, wait a minute. No, not on my court, baby. Not against me, baby. Pulls up, starts hooping him, and then the hoops start going. And I recognize you could be as talented as you want, but if you're not going to hustle, yeah, just go ahead, just sit that down. That's the, you ain't got nothing to do with us. And I love that universal basketball rules just permeate no matter what level, no matter what seriousness, no matter what independently a player is thinking. The rules of basketball will always permeate through their game, because it's like being able to just physically just run a team off the court is so fun to watch, especially when they're on their side of the court, like trying to not get ran off the court. Bro, when it was Stars and Stripes, I'm forgetting who was on, what team was which. I'm just calling them young versus old. Watching Bron still hoop, it felt nice. Watching KD still trying to like force shots, it was still nice, because you could see that bro still got that bucket making abilities. Devin Booker, he hooped a little bit. Who else? Kawhi Leonard. I'm gonna be talking. This is very jumbled. Kawhi Leonard was very fun to watch, as it seems like he is gearing up to make a finals push. Last year, injured. The year before that, injured. The other year, it felt as if his hamstring was gonna fall off the bone. But watching Kawhi Leonard right now, ooh, baby, it seems like we got something cooking. And I will say, it feels nice to watch Kawhi Leonard hoop, because you could tell, especially this season particularly, it feels as if there's been so much noise. There's been so many people that's been going out their way to just... There's been so much going on. James Harden gets traded. There's the potential of the scandal that Rico case is looming on the other side of the court. You watching as folks is... They lost, what was it, like 8? They lost, like 17 of 20 games to start the season off. And then out of nowhere, they go on this like crazy run. Right now, I think they're like the 9th seed, 8th seed. They're looking at a playoff spot. And honestly, the way that they hooping, by the time they come back, Bennett McCartan is healthy. He can hoop. Let's not be facetious. That guy's a basketball player. And then, and not to mention them trading away Zubac. What is your problem? Can we please give Kawhi Leonard a chance to at least make a finals run on this team? His knees work. When's the last time you could say Kawhi Leonard's knees work? But let's talk about the All-Star game. Brother went and put up 30 points. You ever seen someone get so nuclear, just so hot that it's like, everybody, do not worry about me. As long as the ball touches this hand, this giant moth glove hand, buckets. And it's funny because Kawhi is like so technical with the way that he gets his buckets. I like it because of not only is it like stop and go, but it's I have a plan up here and I'm going to go through the motions of my move. You could try and predict it. You're not stealing the ball. Number two, you're not getting in my airspace. And number three, if you do try and touch me, like trying to follow me, I'm strong enough to power through it and get the finish. So is this all around, I don't want to say MJ-like game because I feel like I'm not going to say it feels like they disrespecting Kawhi Leonard's technical hooping skills, but Kawhi Leonard might be the greatest mid-range bucket getter we've ever seen ever. Like let's not be facetious right now. Let's not do that, because I haven't seen a guy in the mid post like this since Kobe. And the thing is, Kawhi Leonard can shoot. Kawhi Leonard is open. I'm so excited for the rest of the season. Y'all don't know. And let's get to the last part. The Stars vs Stripes. Ant goes nuclear. I think he hits like 5 threes. Who else was hooping? Jalen Duren was hooping. Scotty Barnes was doing Scotty Barnes things. But this year, this was a very fun All-Star weekend. Thank you for watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we out.